Let's unpack this with the former Statistician-General Pali Lehohla. Thank you so much for making time for us, Dr. Lehohla. What do you make about the size of cabinet?
Good day, sir.
At some point, it's not enough to cover the shortfall. It's certainly not enough to cover the shortfall. But symbolically, the message that it would send.
Well, yes, I mean, the question of head count is neither here nor there. What is important are economic policies, rather than head count, nibbling here, nibbling there on the margins. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, symbolically, yes, there's something that can be said about it. And of course, the number of people that accompany cabinet, the blue lights and all that, I mean, it's more symbolical. But what is important, the kinds of policies that we follow. By the way, yesterday, the treasurer of the UK talked about planning. I was so impressed. I think we should visit that site. Basically, the National Treasury talks very importantly about planning in the UK to revive the economy, to revitalize the economy, and to do good for the people of the UK. These are people who, during Margaret Thatcher and Reagan, decided to destroy the ethos of planning. They are reinstating it. In South Africa, as I've articulated many a time, that we don't have any planning. Perhaps that the North is going to do it. Probably we will follow suit too, because we copy quite a lot instead of actually sticking with what we would know the best, that we had the RDP, and these are the kinds of things that we should get back to, rather than focus on saying head count and head count there.
Yeah.
That is neither here nor there. What is important are the policies that we have to design.
Okay, just quickly on the planning element around it. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. But on the planning element around it, you have all of these commissions, Chapter 9 institutions and Chapter 10 institutions as well. We're speaking to the Public Service Commission chairperson just the other day, and he says that one of the biggest problems for them is looking at the recommendations that would come from these commissions, only about 20% of those recommendations being implemented. The wasteful expenditure that comes from that, but also how that then informs the sort of planning that is required and not ignoring data.
Well, I mean, once you don't have scenarios in government as a central pillar of government design, then you know that all the planning that you are talking about is just good in name, not worth the paper it's written on. If you don't have that design, that architecture, that Mhlomi talks about, which is about responsible leadership, which pursues peace as a fundamental, ensures and guarantees intergenerational value, and working on integrated reporting. Mhlomi was the sage of the Free State. He was born in 1723. He understood this very well. Why should we in the 21st century not understand what Mhlomi understood almost more than 200 and something years ago, or 300 years ago? He really understood the notion of what responsible leadership is. It's about pursuing peace and guaranteeing intergenerational value. Look at the statistics of the Statistician-General, both the censuses that I ran and that he ran. There's no intergenerational value. And if we can focus on those things of creating intergenerational value and putting mechanisms that do so, then we'll understand the essence of planning. We'll understand the importance of scenarios, and then railguards.
How do we get there, Dr. Lehohla? How do we get there? Because we've got a national development plan.
It's not what the paper it's written on. It's not a plan. I've said several times, we have had 8 things up to today, including the ERRP and the DDM that people talk about. It's not anchored in anything, no data, despite the fact that we have so much data in the country. There's no design thinking. We do not understand what functionalities are. We do not understand that. We don't understand what success means. All those things are not clearly understood, and they are not followed through. So to the extent that we don't even respect Monish Fashik, the director of LSE, who says at the young age, people go for education. As they enter labor force, they contribute to their pensions. At older age, they withdraw. we withdraw our pensions when we start working.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really serious mismanagement of economics. It shows the lack of understanding economics when the two-pot system is approved. There are so many fault lines that you can say the government doesn't understand what it is doing.
Okay, let's wait and see what the finance minister is going to be announcing later on today. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Dr. Pali Lehohla is the former Statistician-General there. We're going to take a quick ad break. At the top of the hour, we continue with the AM report.